in a deal of some kind or what have you. Hey, how you doing, man? Good to see ya. Yeah, I'm working now. I don't get to do my show very often, but NHL new hockey news reports. I thought I'd come on live for the hell of it. Let's see. Can I get that light in the background? It's kind of a pain in the ass, but whatever. So what do you got, buddy? Who you got in the finals? I think that's a tough one. It's really a tough pick. Like part of me thinks that Tampa Bay is going to get 2 run down. YouTube doesn't pay well. No, no, no. Hey, Lauren, how you doing, buddy? Um, yeah, I think it's probably I don't know 7. The only thing that scares me is that Colorado's speed could do it. They got so much speed down through their lineup. If you remember in the Rangers series, uh, if the in the Rangers series, they when they got burnt, it was when the Rangers were playing with a lot of speed up the middle. But like Tampa, they just yeah, goaltending for the Avs scares me too. That's really what it is all about, right? Like that's where I tip the scales over to Tampa Bay. I just Kemper always gets injured. Let's face it, he always gets injured, like Ranta. Yeah, but Tampa has shown over and over again. Toronto had a lot of speed too, and we saw that. Not as much as Colorado though. Tampa Bay hasn't. Tampa Bay really hasn't come up against speed like this yet. I mean, but Colorado hasn't come up against a defense like this. By the way, look at my shirt. I don't know if you can see that. It's Pearlo Wisdom. When I'm doing a little better with capping and I got more subscribers, I'll be back doing the show again. But yeah, I should probably get. I don't know how to ship it and all that stuff, but I think you can buy those shirts on the Steel Flyers website. Go through the Steel Flyers website. You can buy those shirts. Pretty sure. Yeah, Dallas and Montreal. Yeah, that's true. Well, Dallas lost to Calgary. You mean Who did Edmonton? Oh, I see what you mean. In the finals. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, all you got to do is go on this Steel Flyers website. I'm pretty sure you can find it there. In the finals, yeah. This will be the first time they really have some stiff competition in the finals. That's for sure. But, anyways, hmm, I think Monahan retires, dude. I think that's it for Monahan. He's just too bad. He's just too buggered up. I don't think that's it for him, I think. Maybe he goes over to Europe if he really wants to play, but like from what I understand, it's just unbelievable how banged up that guy is. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I think you told me, but is it somebody different than you already told me? The prospect for the Canes. I was just looking at that actually. Frank Nazar looks like he's gonna go. He's getting a lot of hype right now. Gleb Trikozov. Okay, I haven't even heard of him. I gotta say. I haven't even heard him before. Let me throw this at Facebook. Am I an idiot for taking Tampa Bay +1? Well, I mean, how much you're giving up a lot of juice on that, right? It's like isn't that minus 200 and plus or something like that? I mean, I I I don't think you're an idiot for doing that. No, not at all. I mean, Colorado hasn't played for 8 games. I think I like Tampa. I think I like Tampa ML first period, maybe even Tampa Bay plus +0.5. That'll eat up a little bit of the juice. Oh, abs in regulation as well. Well, I mean, that's if you're hooked in that strong. I mean, that's up to you. That's if you're lined in that strong. What you know what I mean by that? It's like right in the playoffs this year, I'm lined in pretty strong. I've been hitting like everything. I've been making 3 bets per game and hitting most of them. Jimmy Snuggerud, yeah. I heard a lot of good stuff about Snuggerud. Is his father Snuggerud? I can't remember his father's name. Is he the son of the old Buffalo Sabres Snuggerud? It's just great to have another Snuggerud in the NHL, just to be able to say Snuggerud. Snuggerud. That's pretty Snuggerud of you, dude. Bruce Cassidy to Vegas. Yeah, and I said I was like unsure that Cassidy would want to go into that situation after they basically just threw the coaches aside the last. But I think this was a financial decision. I mean, not just financial. I'm sure it's ACL. How you doing? Not just financial. I'm sure that it's great to see you guys all again, by the way, before I go on. I'm not the most sentimental dude in the world, but I did miss you all for sure. Uh, I'm sure he's getting paid well there in Vegas. That's all I'm saying. Like if you saw they fired Gallant when there was no reason to, really. I mean, weird firing. DeBoer, I mean, what could he do in that situation? Most organizations would at least give him a year. Now, it's possible that Eichel was like, I don't know if I want to go with this dude or whatever. That's possible. But when it comes to Vegas, I think they just fired him because of the whole no excuses thing. That there's no excuses. We missed the playoffs. I don't want to hear any of it. You're gone. We're firing the coach because there's no excuse that you make the playoffs. I think that's where that comes from. That comes from higher up. I know, Lauren, you hate DeBoer. And it sounds like DeBoer's going to Dallas, which is, I thought they would like look at Claude Julien, but maybe Claude Julien doesn't want to coach in the NHL anymore. It's possible. Everybody's like that. They pick Tampa Bay, but they want Avs to win. Just 1 second. No worries. Everybody's like that. They picked because you want somebody different, and that speed game that the Avs have, it's hard not to root for that. And I'm kind of with you on that. It's even the Lightning will have a very difficult time containing Makar, McKinnon, that whole line, Rantanen as a second line center, unless Kadri comes back. I still haven't heard anything about Kadri or Point going to be playing. Yeah, he will need it if he's coaching the Jets. I was really surprised that it's down to Trotz and Tortorella for Philadelphia. Because I don't know why Trotz wants that Philadelphia gig, except for the fact that it's just simply close in proximity to where he was before, so he's not moving that far. It's in the general area. It's good for his kids and all that stuff. But man, oh man, I do got to say it would be a challenge, but it's like going back to the Nashville days where you're basically just taking a ragtag bunch and trying to make the best out of it. Yeah, it sounds like Fedorov will be their head coach, which I was really hoping that Montgomery would find a landing spot, but they were running out of spots. Is Point playing game one? Okay. We'll see how he is. That was one gruesome looking injury, painful looking injury. I would too, but apparently it's down to him and Tortorella. Tortorella, I could see him being so pig-headed that he would take that team just because somebody told him he couldn't do it. I could see that. And I think Philadelphia is doing the right thing if they're not going to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the right thing would be to rebuild that whole roster. And obviously their sponsors will jump ship or something, or they're afraid of it or whatever, because that's what needs to be done there. But if you're going to just keep on trying to bang at the playoffs and bubble in and, try to win a round or two, those are definitely the two coaches you want for that. Because those two coaches might be able to do it. Favored by the Wings for. Yeah, I don't know much about Fedorov and how he was coaching there in Europe. Apparently he was really good because there's a lot of talk about him. So who would that leave? Did Dallas? I'm hearing DeBoer goes to Dallas. That's what I'm hearing. Are you asking me that or telling me that? I think they very well could be serious about the DeBrincat offers because they really are. I mean, after next year, Taves and Kane are gone, so they're not going to sign them any longer. I think that team's going for a whole rebuild. So, like, it could very well be that it's a scratch down rebuild, and as it is, Chicago is not going to be relevant for a good 4 or 5 years. Which, if I'm DeBrincat, I'm like, yeah, maybe you should trade me off. I mean, do you want to go like 3/4 of your career possibly without even having a chance? You know? And I mean, that'll be 4 or 5 years from now. That doesn't mean they're going to be a contender. Like, that could be a very long time. So, if I'm to Brinkat, I might even be like, you know what? I'm kind of on board with that. It's like he's not going to be relevant for about a good 5 years. The Chicago's not going to be relevant for about 5 years. That's going to put him at 29 years old. You know, and like I said, he could be good by then, no doubt about that. But I'm talking about relevant here. Unless they really knock it out of the park with draft picks like Cray Cray, I don't see them being relevant for about 5 years. Now it's possible it could be before that, but I'd say the odds are at least 5 years. So it's possible that they spoke to DeBrincat and said, "Look, this is the way it's going to be. We don't want you to do something you don't want to do." You know, maybe DeBrincat isn't a personality that like wants to be a teacher and all of those sort of things like that. You know, and he just kind of said, "Yeah, I'm not sure I want to. I'm not sure I'm the rebuild guy kind of guy." Nothing wrong with that. And you know, you're going to sign a guy for. He's going to want 9 million. He's going to want $9 million a year, right? You're going to sign a guy for $9 million a year. You better make sure that guy wants to be part of a rebuild, man. You know, because he's going to be what everybody looks up to in that room. So I think they'll move on from him and then they'll bring some veterans that, you know, are happy with the idea of building a team in Chicago and, you know, have been through the wars, all of those sort of things like that. And they're going to hope the hell they get Bedard next year. They're not going to go out and get much of a goaltender. We'll do what Detroit did. You get Grice, Bernier, guys like that. And basically, management tank, I like to call it. Players never tank, but management tank. Should McClellan, you're talking about the coach of the LA Kings? If that's is that who you're talking about, or are you talking about that kid that kind of went off or whatever? I don't think they had much of a choice there. Yeah, that's true. Those would be good rookies. I don't know much about cards, but I'm sure it'd be a good rookie card to have. I wonder how long rookie cards are going to be, like playing cards. Are they going to keep it up? Tays gets traded to Dallas. That's true. That would not surprise me at all, Lauren. They cover half of his, you know, that would not surprise me at all. From what I understand, the team that has been most interested in bringing in Tays has been the Calgary Flames. At, you know, I'm sure that at half his salary or whatever. But the Calgary Flames have called about him a few times apparently. I mean, at half his salary at the trade deadline, he'd be a great guy to have. Spend through 3 cups, all of that kind of stuff like that. He wouldn't have to have a main role, but I mean, it's like getting a Corey Perry or somebody like that. So it would be good for a team that's a contender to do that, no doubt about it. I could see like the New York Rangers, something like that. You know, they could probably use that type of leadership would come in handy there at the deadline. You know, they cover half of his salary and half his salary is already paid out. I could see. A lot of teams would be interested at this deadline. I think they will go at this deadline. And Kane, well, and Kane too. But Chicago fans, I mean, I talk about Chicago fans. I'll tell you, this rebuild is ripping out their heart. Like, I have never seen fans so opposed to a rebuild ever. Like, nobody likes the fact that their team's going to suck for the next 4 or 5 years. Nobody likes that. But most fans can, succumb to the idea and embrace the idea of watching kids grow up and all those sort of things like that. Chicago fans, they're the only fans that I've talked to that the majority of them say they're going to stop going to games. If they're going to be like that, I'm going to stop going to games. And the funny thing is, if you say that on most groups, there's going to be a lot of people come on and say, you're not a real fan, all that stuff like that, and they'll just get into it. Not Chicago. I never hear anybody say, oh, you're not a real fan if you're not going to go to the games because they're going to rebuild or whatever the case may be. You're not a real fan. I never hear that. Like, it's pretty odd. Like, they are fans that don't settle for anything less than a solid team. So yeah, I mean, the Rangers, Gorton did it as good as you could ever see. That's probably one of the quickest ones I've ever seen. However, they had quite a bit there already. They had built up a pretty good prospect pool already when he started it. Like, Chicago's prospect pool is garbage. Seriously, there's nothing. There's nothing coming up in that pool. They got to build that team. Like, it's going to be a long, long rebuild in Chicago. Very long. And they love Kane. Like, Kane is a god there, man. And that might be why they're exploring the idea of keeping Kane, because he may bring some people to the box office. They just absolutely idolize Kane there. Like, you can't even say, like, huh? No doubt, yeah. They idolize Kane. Oh, Arizona, yeah. Well, for sure, yeah. They're the only thing is they got that freaking great coach there that keeps on finding ways to win, which is they got to make sure they don't get another goaltender that's keep their goaltending that they have right now. I wonder if Chikrin is going to get traded. I think so. But yeah, that team's going to definitely be tanking. I mean, give them 4 or 5 years. They could be. But just imagine if poor Bedard, if they win the lottery. Like, poor Bedard, man. Holy crap. That would be. I mean, he's still getting NHL money. He's going to make a lot of money and all that kind of stuff like that. But holy crap. I don't think the Jackets. I just did. I don't. Yeah, I think not really tank. I don't know. That's the one guy that is such a genius, Kekalainen, that I wouldn't be surprised if that team is good in like 2-3 years. Sort of like what Gordon has done. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But I see where you're going with that. Islanders are tanking? I don't see it, dude. Minjili Loba! How you doing? How you doing? How's it going? What do you think about the finals, Minji Lee? Who's going to win them? Bruins are sort of, yeah, kind of tanking, yeah. Oh, hey, Van Hook, right on. I don't think Pasta's going to get traded. I read that article. That's why I didn't do a trade Pasta thing. Like, I like to find stuff that has some meat to it. I don't believe that. What they did to Krejci? Seriously? They gave the guy $8 million a year for a very long. He was making a lot of money, man. They took care of Krejci pretty darn well. Krejci moved on because he wanted to move on. And then the other one, who else did he say? Krejci and someone else. That, because of that, he wants to move. He's going to move on. Now, I could see him wanting to move on because he sees the rebuild coming. That makes sense. Even though he's young, maybe he doesn't want to go through that. I don't blame him. I'm not surprised. I mean, I guess. But I think Trotz was fired because they knew they were going to lose Lambert this year. Trotz is getting up there, probably only wants to coach for maybe a couple more years, maybe. They probably talked to him. Now, I thought possibly he wanted to go home, but now he's like in the Philadelphia Flyers conversation. So, but I think most of it was because they didn't want to lose that Lambert. He's going to be there a lot longer, and if they think he's anywhere near as good as Trotz, but I mean we've heard this song sung before with Reardon, Washington, and how did that turn out? But we'll see how Lambert is. Yeah, smash that like button, guys. Let's try to get some guys in here. But I think that was the main reason why he was fired. Now, I also, okay, here's my take, all right? Here's my pearls. I don't think Barry Trotz is actually interested in being in Philly. I really don't think he wants to take that. Lightning in 7, that's what I got too. Lightning in 7, sweet. I don't think he wants to stay in Philly. I think he's using Philadelphia to get as much money as he can out of Winnipeg. That's what I think. I think it's Tortorella is going to be the coach in Philly. I mean, you couldn't get a better. My thoughts on you couldn't get a better coach than Bruce Cassidy. I mean, he's an unbelievable coach. Boston. My guess is that Boston's got a younger guy coming up that they want to give a shot, probably in the AHL. I don't know who their AHL coach is or whatever. I don't follow that anywhere near as much as I should. And he knows some of the younger players maybe more because that team's going to get younger. And that's what I'm thinking. And they might even talk to Bruce, and Bruce said, "Yeah, you know what? I'm not sure I'm interested in going through a rebuild. It's going to be years and years. It might not be his thing." And since he went to a team with all the veterans that they have in Vegas, it kind of leads me to believe that, he's just not all that interested in bringing up young guys and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm sure Vegas paid him a crap load too. I'm sure Vegas just backed up the truck for him too. Because my thing was with Vegas was, why would you want to go to a place where they basically just dispose of coaches for no apparent reason whatsoever? Like, you have 1 year where you miss the playoffs, you're done there. You're fired. It doesn't matter who you are, whatever, you're fired. You don't even have to go that far. With Gallant, It was basically they basically said, "Well, we just it didn't feel right like it did last year." That was it. It just didn't feel right. And then they went and got a hot dog and fired him. That's what it seemed like to me. You know, like coaches are about as disposable as you get there. So if they gave him like a 5-year contract at $5 million per, I guess he's like, well, if they chuck me out, at least my family's set for the next 5 years. You know, give it a shot, give it a go. You also get to have the challenge of having, you know, this Eichel character that seems to be, I don't know, a difficult character. It just seems to be. I could be wrong, but it does seem to be. But you get Stone, Pacioretty, you got such a veteran group there, Marchessault, Carlson, you know, a lot of veterans there. So flying Pearlo, oh yeah, nice. Oh, I don't know. Anybody talk to Peyton? I've messaged him a couple of times. He must be like super busy. I haven't even talked to him. I don't know if we're doing the game tomorrow or what. I have no idea. Dave Lowry's not going back to the Jets. I don't think. I don't think that was a great move right from the get go. But I never really got a good read on Dave Lowry. I think Dave Lowry is still growing as a coach. Uh, I couldn't tell you where he would go now. I couldn't tell you. I don't have a good read on him. Oh, Peyton's in Kelowna. Well, that explains it. Okay. You could say Truba is one of the most overrated defensemen there is out there. I believe. I think Truba is one of the most overrated players out there. I did not know that. Okay, I'll leave him alone. Mike Babcock to Winnipeg. That would be funny. Okay, that makes sense. He's paying attention to his old man and all that stuff. Alrighty. Okay, there we go. He did do a stream 2 days ago or something. A baseball stream, I noticed that. Bill Peters to Vegas Golden Knights. Yeah, I think his days in the NHL are over, it would seem. What about Q? I wonder if they'll let Q ever come back. Maybe not, eh? That's it for Q. Who am I missing for coaches that teams that need coaches now? Detroit, we got Fedorov going Fedorov. Oh, Anaheim. Did Anaheim fire? No, they didn't. They didn't fire him, did they? No. There's Blackhawks. Who did I think the Blackhawks were going to go with? I can't remember the rumor Blackhawks were going to. Okay. As commissioner over at Batman. Nice. Cool. Good for him. That's who it was. Thank you. Richardson. Richardson makes sense. Luke Richardson makes sense. I mean, he's been climbing the ladder in Montreal forever. After all that stuff went down in Chicago, and now you're going to be rebuilding. So it's probably a good spot for Luke Richardson to get a chance, I think. That would be a good one there. Why? Sharks didn't fire. Did they? How did I miss that? They fired Bugner? Did I miss that? No, he didn't get fired. You just think you think that they need a new coach. They need to fire Bugner. I don't know if they need to fire Bugner. Bugner is just a tough spot. From what I understand, he's built a huge championship attitude there in the organization. But I mean, what are you going to do with that lineup? Seriously. One thing you got to say about the San Jose Sharks is, I mean, I watched them quite a bit because I made a lot of money off the San Jose Sharks last year, picking them to win in spots and picking them to lose in spots. I hit on them all the time. And one thing I got to say about that team is it never gave up through a game. I mean, they sucked, but they never gave up through a game. They were playing pretty hard. I don't think a coach is really going to change much there, honestly. And with what Bugner has built there, I don't think they want to let that go. He apparently even went into like the office staff and everything. He wanted all the office staff, every person there, to have an attitude of a champion. Oh, Zarbian, I have not watched your stream before. Do I even have your? Maybe would you honor me to come live with you, Zarbian? Or do you like to do it all by yourself, probably? I like going live with other people. I find it fun. Oh, you don't stream. Well, then why did you say you'll be live? Or you just mean that you're going to be on for the live? I mean, if Peyton's not doing it anymore. Oh, okay. I didn't. How is he working in BC? He's working from BC in BC. I know he lives in BC. So okay, he's on vacation, but he didn't go anywhere. He's on holidays. Okay. He's taking a break from everything. I think that's what you're saying. He's got a friend. They're hanging out. Yeah, I gotcha. Well, where did you say he was in? He was in a different part of BC, maybe? So, anyways, so we got okay. I think the Lightning win, and I'm like but I mean I agree with the people that are going for Colorado here, thinking that the Lightning are going to burn out, and that wouldn't really surprise me either, to tell you the honest truth. Like, you got to figure they're going to pooch out sooner or later. That's why I'm not really putting a lot on either one of here. Okay. He's in Kelowna. Okay. Hi, whoever just came in. All right, so let's talk about the summer a bit. What team do you want to talk about? You guys already asked a lot of good questions there, like the Sharks and stuff like that. We talked about Chicago and the DeBrincat trade. I did a video on that. I think they should get. It's funny. I mean, I sent that out to people in Facebook land, and still to this day, people can't get over his size. I'm not going to pay that much for a 5'7" guy. Everybody needs to get bigger and nastier and blah 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 blah. So have you been watching Colorado this year, man? They're not that big, and they're not that nasty. They're just really good two-way team. I don't have my Discord up. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to use this Discord thing. Yeah, I like I said, I don't know how to use this Discord thing very well. My friends, though, I should be able to find what his friends are. Friends. Oh. Did he not friend me back, the bugger? Pending. Okay. There we go. I got him here. Payton server. Okay. Hey, everyone. I'll be live at 12 p.m. Tampa Bay. Where the heck did the end of this go? Oh. Hey, guys. I will be live for the Rangers versus Tampa Bay. That's the Rangers one. Right. Okay. Just wait a sec. I got to stop this oven here for a sec. I got it. Okay, I checked it out. Yeah. Okay, so apparently that's the one thing. CL, are you still here? Like I'm hearing from everybody that Johnny Gaudreau is going for sure to Philadelphia. And that makes no sense to me whatsoever. Imagine Johnny Gaudreau, like, yeah, I got you, buddy. Okay, thanks for coming in, Zarbian. Right on, buddy. Uh, I it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. Like they're just going to continue banging their head against the wall, trying to pretend they're a contender every year. So they get Johnny Gaudreau. He plays with Couturier. They got a whole bunch of shrimps on that lineup. Atkinson, Gaudreau, Konechny. I have a feeling Konechny is going to be moved for what? I don't know. Yeah, yeah, I miss being on with John. Last time he said he was having problems with his Facebook or something, but ooh, I just got my over on the Toronto Baltimore game. Sweet. What's anything else going on here? Oh, Philly came back against them. That's nice. Good there. White Sox over Detroit. Did. Yeah, we're laughing here, buddies. We're laughing. Mets are winning. Ooh, we don't have the Padres though. The Padres got to come back. I know I can call him. I know off the wall like very well. I'm just not sure if I'm gonna do that or not. I'll message him. Maybe I'll message him and I will do that tomorrow night. Why not? But I think I'm gonna go off now, guys. What time is it? 7:30. Yeah, that's probably good. Thanks for coming in. I'm glad I saw all of you guys. It was good times. I might be on with Off the Wall tomorrow. I'll give him a message right now. See if he's into that. And what? All right. See you later, everybody. Take care.